Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Get On With It Fire on the Water, where I've sheathed my lightsaber, at least for the time being. I apologize for what happened at the end of last video, where my microphone ended up getting muted, and it ended up, sabotaging the last 4.5 minutes of that video, as well as the entire video I recorded after that one. But thankfully, the few of you who watched this were understanding of the predicament, and were like, yeah, so here's what I'm gonna do. I obviously can't, be blind to it, and I would like to showcase what I did, like the exact steps that I took within reason, because I know random number generator, the system, might interfere in the process. But I'll do my best to replicate the steps, talk about it, and of course read as I go along. So yeah, let's get started. I guess I could take other paths. I could. Nah, I'm good, but thank you, computer. I appreciate the offer. But nah, let's just go ahead and try to get through this like how I was trying to get through it to begin with. I was okay with that path. I like that path. And I want to share it, I reckon. Although by this point, most of you have already, not only have you started the Lone Wolf series, but you're further ahead than the middle of the second book. You've taken this like, a duck takes to water, however those dumb sayings go. And we're going to go ahead and take a walk east into Axe Lane. Reading through these, if going straight east sounds like it's the best way to get to Port Bax. Although, whenever I was analyzing these things, and I still do think this way, Westgate Lane sounds like a neutral avenue, and West Bank Walk sounds like a lovely, peaceful walk through the, noble or the well-to-do areas of the city, whereas Axe Lane doesn't really sound like the best place to be. We're going to go ahead and walk that path anyway, because it seems like the straightest route. It seems fair. Let's go ahead and do that. By the way, I modified my combat skill here. I checked over my sheet just to make sure everything was right, and of course I have a -2 penalty to my combat skill. I don't have a weapon. The shield gives me +2 combat skill, so, yep, there you go. And everything else should be fine. Let's get started. Axe Lane. This rubbish-strewn cobbled street runs between rows of ramshackle, rot-infested houses and shops. The few inhabitants of Ragadoorn that you see appear a cheerless lot, their faces haggard and drawn. They shuffle through the gloom, hunched against the pouring rain, their eyes fixed on the cobblestones at their feet. Then you reach a junction where Axe Lane bends towards the north, and another street heads off towards the east. Hold on. Sorry about that. Just wanted to make sure that, microphone, it's not muted. Thank you. I know I have a light, but heaven forbid I get this wrong. I don't want to have to do this again. I'm going to go ahead and head east, enter Sage Street. We're going to continue on our whole eastern path. That seems reasonable enough, right? Right. This street seems dirtier and smellier than the one you have just been down. The cluttered window of a shop to your left catches your attention. In the window are many useful items, all of which bear a price tag. Sword, dagger, short sword, warhammer, spear, mace, fur blanket, and backpack. You may enter and purchase any of the above items. Remember to mark them on your action chart. Now, according to Lone Wolf Club newsletter number 12, realistically you can only wear one backpack at a time and carry a maximum of 8 backpack items, special items not included. What we're going to buy here is a dagger. So go ahead and subtract 2 thrones, leaving me with... Gold crowns, leaving me with 15. And then I'm going to buy the fur blanket, which I think is a special item. I don't know what it does. Unknown effects, but I figure, what the hell, it could be useful, so long as I don't lose the damn thing. I might want it, and that costs 3 gold crowns, leaving me with 12. I didn't buy anything else, that's what I bought, and I'll stick to that. I don't see any reason to change that, because I'm trying to keep authentic to what I did originally. And since I have a weapon now, I lose the -4 penalty, and I'm back to a +2 bonus due to the shield. So my combat skill is now 18. Regrettably, I did lose that chain mail waistcoat, though. Very sad about that. You are standing opposite a large building... Oh, I forgot to read this little bit here. When you have completed your purchases, you continue your way along Sage Street towards the Ragadoorn Bridge. This bridge is the only connection between the east and west sides of the port, and you push your way through the crowds of people and carts. You find yourself in a rubbish-strewn thoroughfare known as East Trade Lane. You're standing opposite a large building with a sign on the wall, Ragadoorn Stables and Coach Station. A green-clad coachman is sitting next to a notice board that reads, Portbacks, journey time 7 days. If you wish to approach the coachman and ask to buy a ticket for the journey to Portbacks, turn to 136. If you have no money, turn to 238. Well, we do have money, so let's ask about it. Fare to Portbacks is 20 gold crowns, says the coachman in a gruff Ragadornian accent. We don't have 20 gold crowns, so we're going to have to turn away. Opposite the coach station is a narrow street leading to a gaming house with a sign outside. No weapons allowed inside. You are excited by the chance of being able to win some gold, and you quickly enter. Any weapons you may have must be left with a guard at the door. You can recover your weapons when you decide to leave. The weapons aren't actually taken away, that's what that footnote says. You are given a silver token worth 1 gold crown that can only be used in this gaming house. You'll only receive the free silver token once, regardless of how many times you may enter the gaming house. Now, the entrance hall opens out into a huge room where many gambling games are in progress. One that catches your eye is called Cartwheel. At one end of a long table, an attractive young woman spins a black dish divided into 10 sections marked 0 to 9. As the dish spins, she drops a small silver ball into it, which eventually comes to rest in one of the numbered sections. Several merchants are seated around the table, and they are betting heavily on the fall of the silver ball. To play Cartwheel, you must first decide the number you would like to bet on, and just how many gold crowns you'd like to stake. Make a note of these numbers, and then pick a number from a random number table. If you pick exactly the same number, you win 8 gold crowns for every 1 gold crown that you gamble. If the number you pick is immediately before or after the correct choice, you win 5 gold crowns for every 1 gold crown that you stake. There is a limit to how much you can win on this table, 40 gold crowns. You may play as many rounds of Cartwheel as you wish until either you lose all your gold crowns or you decide to pick up your winnings. Now, I actually took advantage of this, and I won 40 gold crowns. The reason for that is that despite your low odds of winning... And hold on. Let me take... Fucker. Don't interrupt me while I'm recording videos for the internet. Fucking spider crawling on my damn fucking desk. Let's move on. Reason for that is, while you only have a 30% chance of winning, the payout for you winning is pretty awesome. If the number it's landed on exactly, you get 8 to 1 odds, and if it's the number before or after that, you get 5 to 1, which is great. You know, you could get luck screwed, but given enough attempts, the odds are that you'll make your money back, and then some. Hopefully, the odds are like that, unless you're someone who gets fucked over all the time. You see, the whole concept of probability and mathematics and shit, this is why math is bullshit and why I was not a math major. Throw all that shit out the window. Video games taught me that probability is bullshit. I'm just saying, Civilization 4 only reinforced that whenever I was in college. Gee, I have a 99.6% chance to win this, but what do you know? I lost. Welcome to 3 promotions, Barbarian Warrior. Well done. That's the point of me getting angry. Math is bullshit. So that shit doesn't even make any sense anyway. They have all sorts of loopholes in their fucking theories. Paradoxes. A sadism. Stop. So, yeah, I took advantage of it. I got fucking max money, bling bling, bitch. I don't know whether it's going to work out this time, although I tell you what, if I end up losing all of my money, I may end up just, going with my original thing, where I just had money, or just give myself 40 gold crowns anyway. That'll be fine. So, but first off, I mean, we have like a free token. We got a free token for going here, so we have nothing to lose. I'm going to use my lucky number that I established in my deleted video, which was just me betting on the number 9 constantly. 1 gold crown, the number 9. Woo! And we got a winner from the start. That would take us up to 17. Now 12 plus 40 is 52. And this is all kind of fucking math and shit. Let me pull up fucking notepad. Oh, look at my start menu. Oh my god, look at that. That's amazing. That's amazing. My name's Grimith. Oh my god, it's Darth Vader. Holy shit. Right. So, we have 5 tokens. I'm going to keep track of this, because I would like to have more than, you know, the amount of money I can win is 40 gold crowns. Which means that if I kept winning, I could have a maximum of, 52 gold crowns. Right. Bet 1 token, we got 5. So, let's go ahead and bet another token. We're going to bet it on the number 9 again. So, 4 tokens. Dick. Well, no, that's not Dick. Number 9. Hey, the number 8's adjacent to the number 9. Sweet. Why did I say Dick? I guess I said Dick because, I don't know. Maybe I'm secretly gay and not even I know it. And it's just like one of those fucking things that surprise me. My subconscious is like, hey, Dick. But I'm a man and we talk about penises all the time anyway. It's true. I'm like talking to the choir here. You guys are like, yup, we know. So, 9 tokens. Gonna go ahead and subtract 1. So I have 8 tokens now. And sweet! I'm just gonna constantly bet on the number 9. That's cool. So I now have 13. Now I'm gonna have 12. Damn. Now I'm gonna have 11. And damn. Now I'm gonna have 10. Come on, 9. Damn it. Now I'm gonna have 9. Yeah! That takes me to 17. Woot woot! 16 plus 5 is 21. Sweetness! Now I'll be at 20. Damn it. 19. 19 plus 5 is 24. See, I insult math and then I have to do the math in my head. It's terrible. I might end up screwing myself out or perhaps giving myself more than what I'm supposed to. And I honestly don't care if that happens. Pay attention at home, okay? 23 to that. This will be 22. 22 plus 5 is 27. 21. Shit. I mean, now I'm at 26. Start throwing out random numbers. 15! 4! 9! 17! 27! Fuck! Stop it! Ah, my brain! 25. Yeah! 33. 32. Damn it. 31. Damn it. 30. Yeah! 37. Yep. That takes us to the cap of 40, and we are fucking cashing it in. We are Dunsville. Dunsville. We're finished. Winnings to collect. Bye! You're standing opposite this thing again. Sweet! Let's buy a ticket. 20 gold crowns. Sold! You pocket the ticket. Mark this as a special item on your action chart. I got a golden ticket. Coach. Let's not caps that. Coach ticket. Damn it. Damn it! For the rides. Lol. You pocket the ticket, and the man takes you to a coach that is waiting near the east gate of the seaport. It is empty, and you take a seat near one of its circular windows. You are relieved to find that the seat is quite comfortable. For the journey to Port Bax will take 7 days. Stowing your equipment beneath the seat, you settle back in comfort and doze off. When you awake, there are 5 other passengers, and the journey to Doranor has already begun. Excuse me. Let's see what result I get this time. 3. After nearly an hour, the coach stops at the shrine of Calanane. It is said that this shrine is built upon the grave of King Alin, the first ruler of Doranor. And all around this shrine grow clumps of lompspur. I didn't go down this path. Let's take some, sure. Lompspur is a delicious herb, much sought after in the last lands for its healing properties. You have picked enough for 1 meal. Hooray! Lompspur. You wrap the herb up and return to the coach with the other passengers. During the course of the afternoon's journey, you chat with your fellow travelers and learn about their backgrounds. Here's a picture. Sitting opposite are 2 brothers named Ganon and Dorier. That's those 2 guys. They look like brothers. They are knights in the Order of the White Mountain, warrior lords of Dornor who have pledged allegiance to protect the country from raids by the bandits, the Wildlands. They own a castle and land near Port Bax. Next to them sits Halvork the Merchant, as seen there. Lovely looking guy, huh? His nose is swollen and his face is badly bruised thanks to Lachlan, the overlord of Ragadorn. A little misunderstanding about port taxes lost him his cargo and most of his gold. Seated by the far door is a priest called Parsion. Right there. One shady-looking motherfucker, huh? Oh, you're a priest. You totally look like a priest. Maybe priests in this world of lone wolf just look fucking creepy as hell. Like you, he is a Sumlending who has journeyed across the Wildlands by coach on his way to Port Bax. Beside you sits a young woman called Viveka. Whatever. She's the only woman of the team, the group. She is a mercenary adventuress who earns her gold by fighting for it and sells her services to the highest bidder. She is returning to Port Bax, having collected payment for a successful adventure in Ragadorn. Not wishing to reveal your true identity, you have pretended to be a simple peasant. Travelers seem unaware of the war that now rages in Summerland. Let me check back here just to make sure. Okay. Eating this meal will give you +3 endurance points as well. Oh, cool. I just wanted to make sure. +3 end. Wanted to mark that down especially. At dusk, the coach stops at an inn on the coast road to Port Bax. The cost of a room for the night is 1 gold crown for coach passengers and 3 gold crowns for anyone else. As you are about to enter, the coach driver demands to see your ticket. Oh, I have a ticket. Here it is. The driver nods and hands back the ticket. The inn is warm but poorly furnished. You must eat a meal here, which will cost you 1 gold crown unless you have a meal in your backpack. The kind discipline of hunting cannot be used when instructed to eat a meal on your journey through the Wildlands, as it is a barren wasteland inhabited only by those creatures, a weak and cowardly breed of those dudes. So, I'm going to go ahead and use the 1 gold crown for the meal, as well as the room, because I have the money to spare, and I might lose it at any given time, so why not use it right now? Keep those meals for later. I might need them, who knows? So go ahead and get the room. You sleep deeply without being disturbed before rising at dawn, gathering your equipment and joining the others as they board the coach. For 2 days and nights, the coach follows the trade route across the flat, treeless Wildlands. It stops only to allow the driver to sleep, but on the morning of the 9th day of your quest, there is an unfortunate accident. Pick a number from the random table. Oh boy. 9. One of the wheels jams in a deep rut, and 3 of the large wooden spokes are shattered. You are forced to stop and replace the wheel before you can continue to Port Bax. You volunteer to help the driver by levering the coach axle with a small tree trunk, so that the spare wheel can be slid into position. You are pushing down on the stout branch with all your strength when the horses suddenly rear up and race forward. The trunk springs back and catches you square in the face, knocking you backwards to the ground. You are stunned and you lose 2 endurance points. The driver is not so lucky. The coach has run over him. As the poor man dies in your arms, his last words are, "No accident." No accident. I saw. Well, that was the alternate path. I took the other one. So, let's go ahead and decrease that. Someone told me that I can use this plus button here to, increase by 1. No fuzzy math for me. Although I already did fuzzy math in my monies and shit. Well, Guidance 106 Sense says, you sense that you were the intended victim of the supposed accident. One of the passengers is trying to kill you. Slowly, 1 by 1. Oh, excuse me. 2 numbered sections. I'm back. Slowly, 1 by 1, the other travelers appear and stare in shock at the dead coachman. We must bury him, says the priest. You silently nod your agreement and prepare a grave in which to lay the corpse. As you all walk back to the coach, you discuss what should be done. I know the road to Port Bax. I'd better drive the coach, volunteers the merchant. I do hope we're not blamed for his death, says the priest nervously. It was an act of the gods, says Dorier. I shall testify to that, says Ganon. Lies are never spoken by knights of the White Mountain. It is true that in Dornor, a true knight will speak only the truth, whether for his own good or ill. His words seem to reassure the priest. You all are soon once more on the road heading towards the eastern horizon. It is late in the afternoon when you arrive at a coach station in a small coastal village known as Gorn Cove, which is mainly populated by outcasts, thieves, and those dudes. The death of the coachman is met by the villagers with great suspicion, but Dorio's words convince them that it was accidental. There's only one inn at the village, a tavern known as the Forlorn Hope. What a great fucking name for a tavern. Its state of disrepair is typical of all the other hovels in this poor sea village. A room for the night costs 1 gold crown. Well, we can definitely pay for that, so let's do it. The innkeeper is a thin old man with only one eye. He hands you a key and points to a balcony opposite. "Number 2, the red door," he says. The other travelers each pay their 1 crown, collect a key, and make their way across the crowded tavern floor towards the stairs. "We must make plans for tomorrow," says Dorier. The others all nod in agreement. "I suggest we meet here in the bar in 1 hour to decide what to do." As you close the red door of your room, for some unknown reason, you recall the words of Captain Kelman when you left Holmgard Harbor. "There is evil treachery at work, and the enemy already has plans afoot to thwart your quest." An hour has nearly passed when your thoughts are disturbed by a knock at the door. It is the innkeeper, and he is carrying a tray of hot food. Interesting looking innkeeper, is he not? He is. "With the compliments of one of your friends," he says, and leaves before you can ask which one. The food smells most appetizing. You have not eaten today, and now you must eat a meal or lose 3 endurance points. Now, remember to deduct 3 endurance points if you turn to section 178. Depending on how strictly you interpret this text, you may also need to deduct 3 points if you turn to section 290, because remember that hunting cannot be used in the wildlands to find meals. Now look, I don't know exactly how you're supposed to handle this. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm eating a fucking meal from my backpack, so I can eat a meal. And then I'm going to use my Kai discipline of hunting. I don't know if that's exactly what Joe Deaver interpreted it meant, but that's how I'm fucking interpreting it. Because I'm not taking a -3 endurance penalty, which healing won't heal, unlike, you know, say, the fucking fire damage. The food smells delicious, but you notice that there are 2 or 3 drops of clear liquid on the side of the plate, and another on the tray. At first you suspect that it is only water. Until you touch the fluid and notice that it is sticky. You recognize it as sap from the Gnudern tree, a deadly poison used by assassins because of its lack of flavor or scent. The shock of your discovery soon turns to anger, and you race out of the room, intent on discovering the identity of your enemy. Glad this wasn't a touch poison. By the time you reach the bar, the others are all seated at a large table awaiting your appearance. Drawing closer to the table, you realize you have found your would-be assassin. You will have to attack without giving any warning to your enemy, so study your fellow travelers carefully, and then make your decision. Here's a portrait of them. Hooray! Here's another picture. Priest, merchant, the Knights of the White Mountain, adventuress rather. And here's another look at them, and here's a... We don't exactly need to look at that guy. So, I spent a whole bunch of time whenever I was coming through thinking about how I wanted to handle this. I was like, oh my god, I was flipping back through the pages, I was trying to remember and analyze what they said, I was looking at their pictures, I thought the innkeeper's portrait mattered. And here's how it goes, attacking these guys. The Knights of the White Mountain, you see them as pretty noble guys, they're brothers. I'm gonna say they're automatically ixnayed, one of them's trying to kill me, they have a lot of credibility built up and everything. And if one of them's faking it, that means both of them are faking it. And if both of them are faking it, I'm pretty sure they would have taken other steps to fucking kill me before this. Besides, I imagine being a Knight of the White Mountain is kind of a prestigious thing. Might make them hard to defeat in combat. Merchant Halvork. Really? Does he really look like the sort who's actually capable of committing assassination? Appearances can deceive, but I don't think he's the best bet. Adventurous. I guess she could be. The problem with that is, it just doesn't seem like her style where, I mean, if you just look at her, she seems like the sort who would face you in upfront, brutal, man-to-man or man-to-woman combat. She just seems like she'd be a tough chick to take down. You know, just like a burly woman with great strength and capabilities. That leaves me with the priest. The priest who is nervously wondering, man, I hope that nobody blames us for this guy's death. The priest who's the only one who came from Sumland, or whatever the hell it's called, and he looks shady like a motherfucker. Doesn't look like you can fucking trust this bastard as far as you can throw him. That's the best guess I got with the information, so I chose the priest. The priest does not seem to be surprised by your attack, and he draws a black sword from beneath his robes. I think this is a fight to the death, so let's roll with that. Combat skill 16, endurance 23. We have him beaten. I don't think that means we'll win, although I kicked his ass pretty handily. He only took like 4 endurance points from me last time, I think. But let's see how this goes. Fight to the death. You have defeated your enemy. I didn't take a single point of damage. Fucking bitch slap with a fucking dagger. Sigmar prevails even with a dagger. Assassinate this bitch. That's awesome. Silly bitch. You must not know who I am. Lol. Searching the body, you discover all you need to prove that he was the assassin. Inside his pockets, you find a half-empty vial of that sap, the deadly poison that was used to taint your food. Then there is a scroll written in Gyek, giving details of your expected arrival in Port Bax. He must have located you at Raggadorn and hatched his murder plans there. You notice that the weapon he carries is a Dark Lord blade, fashioned of black steel and forged in the furnaces of Helgedad, the infernal city of the Dark Lords beyond the Derncrag range. Only there, in all of vast Magnamund, can black steel be made. I didn't know how to handle this. I think that's like a special item of sort. It doesn't say whether I can take it, but I figured, it sounds important enough. I'll fucking take a Dark Lord blade. And I'll just list that as a special item. Dark Lord blade. Black steel. Helgedad. But the final proof of his true identity is the serpent tattoo on his left wrist. The harbor thugs who attempted to kill you before you had even left Homeguard bore exactly the same mark. His purse contains 23 gold crowns. Oh shit, math! 29 plus 23, go! 52. Win! Which you may keep. Woohoo! I think I can only carry a maximum of 50, though. I think that's right. Yeah. So we'll just dock myself down to 50. If I'm wrong, well, I'm just giving, the innkeeper a 2 gold crown tip. The other travelers stare with horror and disbelief at what you have done. Before you can explain yourself, there is a loud crash as the front door is thrown open. In rush 6 armored soldiers led by the innkeeper. They are the town guard, and the one-eyed innkeeper screaming at them to arrest you. I'm not fucking staying here. Fuck this. I didn't stay here whenever this happened. I'm not fucking changing that anytime soon. That sounds like insta-death right there, particularly the Knights of the White Mountain decide, no! And I don't know if they will, I don't know whether they have fear, but it's not like you have an opportunity to explain yourself, so I ain't interfering with that. Rear door escape. Although night has fallen, a full moon casts a bright light upon the village. Behind the tavern, you see a small wheelwright shop with 2 horses hitched to a hay cart. We have the Kai discipline of camouflage, we're using it. Using your Kai discipline of camouflage, you can hide undetected in the hay cart until it is safe to come out. Let's do so. When you are certain that the angry mob has passed, you jump from the hay wain and run stealthily along the street, dodging from one shadow to the next. To your left, there is a shop with a sign above the door. I went in here because I was curious to see what was being sold in here, so let's go ahead here again. A large man dressed in a leather apron is busily sharpening a fine broadsword. He is seated at a grindstone that sends a shower of sparks high into the air every time he touches the blade to it. He bids you good evening and offers you the broadsword. It is a fine blade, wrought of Durnese steel, that can be yours for only 12 gold crowns. Nah, we're good. Let's leave by the rear door. You enter a small alleyway behind the shop, at the end of which you can see a horse tethered to a post. And now we're going to be a horse thief, take the animal, and flee the village. You spur the horse along the twisting village street. Can't believe he didn't fucking deal any damage to me. That's awesome. You spur the horse along the twisting village street across a wooden bridge and up a steep path towards the crest of the cove. In the light of the moon, you catch a glimpse of a signpost pointing eastwards. Port Bax, 50 miles. You ride all night without sleep. As the dawn breaks, you are greeted by a startling change of landscape. The barren wildlands have given way to moors and waterlogged fens. and a dark shadow runs the length of the eastern horizon, as far as the eye can see. This is the Duranor Forest, the natural frontier of the Mountain Kingdom, where it borders the untamed wildlands. Excuse me, it is indeed a welcome sight. You are no more than a day's ride from Port Bax, but you are tired after your night ride, and you must eat a meal or lose 3 endurance points. Excuse me again, damn. If you have the kind discipline of hunting, you may use the skill to trap a wild moor rat or marsh bird for your breakfast. Hooray! So we can use hunting, so we don't need to consume a meal. After an hour's ride, you come to a fork in the road. There is no signpost. We can take the left fork or the right fork, but I'm going to give my throat the opportunity to recover, so I'm not making any more weird swallowing noises here. I'm going to go ahead and save this in slot 3, just in case. Hooray! Slot 3 save. And when we come back, I'll continue to guide you all through the choices that I made, and perhaps, assuming I didn't die at the end of the choices I made, we can start making some choices, new choices. We'll see. So yeah, see you all later.